Hi, I'm Matt, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about Read-ify and how to use it. Read-ify is a Chrome extension that essentially makes the text on pages a little bit more readable. And it does this without necessarily obstructing the page, and it doesn't have to zoom in or do anything fancy. It really just works on affecting the text and making that portion especially more readable. So here I have the Wikipedia menu. Now this isn't really a great example because the text is actually already pretty readable, but we'll go ahead and run Read-ify. Now Read-ify shows up in your Chrome menu on the top right hand side, and you'll see it's kind of an E icon, and it says Read-ify on it, and all we have to do is click the Read-ify button. So it takes the user input to click on it, so it doesn't necessarily load on its own because you might not want it on every page. So let's go ahead and check out an article where this example might be a little bit more useful. So here we have another Wikipedia page, and this is kind of a big article. The text is a little small, and there's lots of links scattered about, which makes it a little bit difficult to read at times, kind of distracting to the eyes. And so we want to make it more readable, and of course we hit the Read-ify button, and boom, there we go. The text is a little bit more readable for us. So you'll notice the text size of course increased, but the rest of the page wasn't necessarily obstructed by this. The images are still the same size. And some of those links appeared to kind of disappear there. But the links are still there. We can click on them. Our cursor actually changes when we scroll over them, which is fine, and they work like links. Like any link would. And you'll notice when we go to a new page, the Read-ify kind of wears off, and that's because every page you need to run Read-ify on if you want to get those effects. And so the same works for if you don't like the way Read-ify affects your page here, all you have to do is hit refresh and it's back to where it was. So let me give you a few more examples. It works on more than just Wikipedia. But the interesting thing about Read-ify is it's actually unique per page. So it's not going to do necessarily the same thing on this recipe as it would on Wikipedia because, again, it has to adapt to the page. So we're going to go ahead and run it on here. And you notice it didn't have as much of an effect as Wikipedia, but it made some of those items a little bit easier to read, a little bit larger, and kind of changed the font there. So yeah, that works on this recipe page. We can go ahead and try another example. And here on the poetry site, it might not do as much as Wikipedia either. So it only does kind of a slight increase, but it does that again to preserve the page. So here on YouTube, this is an example of a website that's not really going to be fit for Read-ify. Read-ify really works best on pages that have kind of long paragraphs with small text. But you'll notice if I run it, it still does work, and it makes the titles kind of a little wider and easier to read. Now, an example of where Read-ify might not work is somewhere like Spotify, because Spotify actually uses Flash Player. So anything that's using Flash Player or a PDF reader or anything of the sort, it's not really going to have that effect because it's not affected by CSS. Anything that's not affected by CSS styling is not going to get the effects of Read-ify. So if we run it, it's actually really not going to help us that much. It actually makes the titles kind of unreadable in that case. So you definitely wouldn't want to use it in this case. So that's pretty much it. And Read-ify is going to sit up here, and you don't have to worry about it automatically loading on pages. Like I said, you choose when you want to use it. It's free to install if you haven't gotten it already, and it's pretty good stuff. Thanks for watching.